I was wondering what would break first. Your spirit? Or your body?
Oh my god, just when you think Twitch couldn't take another L, not only another L, but the fattest L that they've taken so far, it's happened. They've just, oh no, they've just absolutely fucked up to the highest order. Now, for any of you that don't know about some miracle, Twitch for the past what seems to be 3 months, probably longer, much longer if you really think about it, have been taking some big, fat, morbidly obese, wobbly L's left, right and chip shop. Obviously, this kind of all kind of mostly started from the whole gambling scandal with Slicker, who apparently scammed over $500,000 out of other Twitch streamers, YouTubers, famous people, and even someone who was on chemotherapy treatment as well to fund his gambling addiction. And that kind of got resolved to a certain degree in terms of banning gambling on Twitch, which I do agree with. And also after that as well, within the practically the same time period, a few Twitch streamers were exposed for trying to cover up a sexual assault allegation as well, or even a case with it. And one of the other things after that came out as well, that Twitch also announced a 70-30 split would be no longer. It'd be a 50-50 split, which means Twitch would get half of all the money that you have rightfully earned from your hard work as well. And also they banned raiding as well, which I don't understand. Now, before we get into TwitchCon, I wanted to mention something else before the actual event. Now, TwitchCon, or should I say Twitch as a whole, allowed people to purchase tickets for TwitchCon 2022 in San Diego. And once they allowed thousands, if not tens of thousands of people to purchase tickets for entering this, which, again, bearing in mind that the cost of the tickets, the cost of the plane tickets, or the travel fees in general to get there, the cost of hotel fees, the cost of expense fees, the cost of getting things preparation for taking with you for an event, it's thousands upon thousands upon thousands, potentially over $10,000 this would have cost some people. They let everyone purchase the tickets, and much later down the line they just announced, oh yeah, by the way, we've decided to change our policy. You need to be vaccinated, you need to have proof of vaccination, you need your booster jabs, you need to wear a mask 24/7 while you're in here, so on and so forth. And a lot of streamers called them out, and rightfully so, and just said L. Nick Murks was the biggest one of them all who called them out, and I do agree with him. Now, if you want to be vaccinated or not, with in general, that's up to you. It's your body, your choice. You know, don't let anyone tell you any different. You do whatever you feel safe for you. But what I do have a problem with, which is the first L of TwitchCon, before it's even beyond opened its gates for the first day of TwitchCon, is allowing your fan base and allowing the fans of the streamers to purchase tickets and then change something so drastically that it forces them not to come. That is scumbag behaviour, and I will die in that hill. That is scumbag behaviour. But the biggest L that Twitch, and not only Twitch but Lenovo and Intel that are responsible for this as well, that they've sent 3 of their own Twitch streamers rushing to hospital, and not only that, one of them required emergency surgery to repair a severe broken back in 2 different places. So what on earth happened here? So Twitch had this little tiny event within us. Now, I don't know if Twitch are 100% responsible. They're responsible in one way or another. I'll get into that in a second. But Intel and Lenovo, Jesus Christ, struggling there, had this little kind of like, if you've ever seen that TV show from the 90s and early 2000s in the UK called Gladiator, you get these events everywhere, carnivals, fun fairs, school events, field trips. You've definitely been in a foam pit or something to street where there's a platform, there's 2 platforms, you smack people with very large novelty-sized foam, kind of like jousting sticks, and you try and knock your friend over, and yeah, you win, and it's a load of fun, you fall into a foam pit. Lovely family fun. And they had one of these at TwitchCon. However, this foam pit was so beyond shallow that my dick erect has more depth than this. I've seen Chicago deep dish pizza with more depth. I have seen She-Hulk fucking lines with more depth, storytelling with more depth than this foam pit. Now, for someone like me who's had a lot of experience with foam pits, as everyone has mentioned, and also my local state park has one of those like mega ramp foam pits where you just skydive into the air and come right back down into it. Foam pits, I'm so sorry. Foam pits are meant to be extremely deep in depth and complete overkill for absolute guaranteed safety in every way, shape and possible, to the point where some foam pits are literally 10 plus feet deep because you have to calculate kinetic energy getting transferred on impact, and you need a monstrous surface area and a depth to get the kinetic energy to disperse as much as possible so your landing is absolutely safe as possible. This foam pit on TwitchCon 2022 in San Diego was beyond shallow. It wasn't even knee deep in some people, and calculating for how you're going to fall, what angle, obviously people's weight drastically changed. Some people could be a lot heavier as well, more top heavy, yada yada, so on and so forth. This looked about 6 to 8 inches deep, which is an absolute just death trap, and that is the right word to use here. So what exactly happened? And the beat goes on, da-da-dum, but yes, as we're aware of so far, 3 people, as I said, that we know of so far have been injured due to this unfathomably shallow foam pit as well. One person's had a mild back injury, that's all I've heard. I don't know about any updates on that. One other Twitch streamer has dislocated their kneecap, which of course is going to require going to hospital and possibly surgery. Dislocating your kneecap is seriously complex and pretty horrible outcome overall, but the worst one of them all by a streamer called Adriana Chechik. I hope I pronounced it right. I really do apologise if I butchered your last name. Did a what I can only describe as like a cheerleader style kind of dive into this unfathomably shallow foam pit and has broken their back in 2 separate places. Now, they were rushed off to hospital and they had to have emergency surgery done, which required them to have a metal rod placed in their back as well, which for someone like me as well who has suffered from very severe back and neck injuries, I've never told this story, I'll tell it right now very quickly. When I was 9, I used to do curling, I used to be quite good at it, yes, curling of all things. I was on the ice rink. Now, if you are someone who is sweeping, you don't have a slip in your foot. If you're curling, like the guy who's actually curling the stones on the ice towards the target, you have a slip on. Now, again, my fault, I kept the slip on while I was sweeping, but there was professionals around me, and I was 9 years old and they didn't point it out to me. I accidentally left my slip on while I was sweeping, and I did a Looney Tunes style fall, and I landed straight in my tailbone, fractured it. The shockwave went right up my back and into my neck, and ever since then, and plus with the other back and neck injuries that I've had after that, I'm in constant pain and discomfort, and I can't sleep, and it's just really depressing. It just gets me down all the time as well. So getting any level of a back injury is going to take months, if not years, to recover, and in a lot of cases you're just going to have to live with it for the rest of your life, because it is quite difficult to make a full-blown recovery. As I've experienced myself, I'm not sure this will never go away, at least it won't fully go away. And an injury like this is going to cause some major problems probably for the rest of your life. I would imagine this Adriana Twitch streamer is going to have like a lot of physical therapy after this. I hope to God, again, bearing in mind that this is in America, so I'm praying to God that this person has life insurance, if not until Lenovo and Twitch will cover every single medical expense and other expense under the sun, including the hospital treatment, the physical therapy, just possibly normal therapy after this as well, and so on and so forth, because they are rightfully owed that money for the treatment. And not only did this happen, but this continues to go on with people getting injured, and even after the worst one being Adriana getting her spine broken in 2 different places, they continued the foam pit to go on from here on out. Now, I want to say, just so I'm not winding everyone up and getting people angry, Adriana has tweeted out after this and after the surgery and so on and so forth that she seems to be taking this with a good sense of humour. She's tweeted out a little meme here saying, "Me on stream next month," and it's just a person with like, if you remember like Jimmy, or is it Timmy or Jimmy from Ed, Edd n Eddy, had that massive like head brace on. It's someone just there waving because she's trying to make the fact that she's got a major back injury. So it's just a meme of that person waving. It just says "Me on stream next month" on Twitter as well, and she seems to be kind of taking it lightheartedly. But Twitch, Intel and Lenovo are going to get sued to high hell because this is in America, and obviously this is rightfully so. Intel and Lenovo did not seem to hire professionals to set this up. This seems like Intel and Lenovo got their team together, their creative team, their design team, their construction team, whatever you like to call it, to construct and make this, because it's all Twitch coloured themed. It's Twitch padding, it's Twitch jousting foam pads, it's Twitch LEDs and everything around it. It definitely looks like it's been bespoke made, and I'd be gobsmacked if this was a professional company as well that made this with a colour themed scheme as well, because I've just noticed there's a lot of white to match the kind of purpley blue colours that Twitch is. So I think Intel Lenovo themselves made this bespoke for the event, which they should never have done. They should have hired professionals, and I think Twitch should be sued for allowing such a dangerous event to be allowed under their premise, under their event as well. Now, one thing I've not seen people comment on too much is why was it so shallow? It's a pretty obvious answer for me for this one. If this was 8-10 feet deep, it's going to be 8-10 feet off the ground, therefore no one can see it, no one can spectate, people walking around can't see the fun event. So if they keep it shallow, and of course everyone's going to be recording and live streaming because it's Twitch, so if it's up high no one can record and live stream it, and it just becomes annoying and awkward as hell. So that's why the pit was so shallow, and it was deliberately designed like that in my opinion as well. But that doesn't excuse it. Now, I've seen a lot of people comment that there should have been crash mats underneath. Trust me, if there were crash mats underneath, it would have helped a bit, I would imagine. It would be nice to have them. But as someone who's used to do a lot of physical activities just to kind of throw myself a bit, wrestle a bit, and do this and that within primary school, high school, and even after it as well, having your body slap off of a crash mat of some description still hurts like crazy, and it doesn't guarantee that you won't go through the crash mat and still hit the ground underneath. So yes, it would have been nice to have it, but I don't think it would have been a 100% guaranteed safety. So yeah, this is just horrific outfit, and the fact that the presenters for this foam pit are laughing and joking through it with this woman is clearly absolutely having a fight of her life, literally as well, after doing a cheerleading style jump off of the podium into the shallowest foam pit imaginable. Now, I've seen some absolute window lickers on Twitter saying that this is her fault for doing this. It's a foam pit, for God's sake. It's meant to be the safest fun activity on the planet. It's meant to guarantee safety. I do not blame Adriana or anyone else who got injured during this as well. This is 100% not their fault at all. And also, there was a jousting match on this, or kind of like a gladiator fight between XQC and another streamer who I've forgotten the name of. And once the other streamer jumped in, the foam padding didn't even go up to their knees, it just hit the ground instantly. So there's so much evidence to show that this thing's unfathomably shallow. It's just insane. And I hope that these people do take Lenovo, Intel and Twitch to court, because this is rightfully so. And for someone who has suffered from back injuries, also one of the injuries that I had to my neck was from a place called Loudon Castle, which is in Scotland. And because, by the way, Loudon Castle looked like Pripyat from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, that abandoned theme park. You know, 50,000 people used to live here, now it's a ghost town. It literally looked like that. I shit you not, it looked so abandoned but operational. Caused 4 of my schoolmates, while we went on it there on a school trip, to have injuries that we all had to go to hospital for afterwards. Apart from staves, bruises and soft tissue damage, we were all right for there, just a couple of weeks off of school to recover. But only a few days after that, someone died in one of the rides after we'd been there, and that closed the place down because the lawsuit was so financially damaging as well to Loudon Castle that they had to close down. And because the health inspectors came out after this as well, they found a plethora of issues, and I think people were jailed over this, if my memory serves me right, and fined by millions. So Loudon Castle was shut down after that as well. So I understand the pain. I have had severe back injuries myself. I'm still in pain to this day. You know, I was 19, I'm now 27, so this was 18 years ago pretty much, and I understand the amount of pain it is. The pain that you experience during this is so bad to the point you feel like throwing up, you feel like you're going to pass out, you start panicking, it's literally your mind runs off and just abandons its own body. It is horrific. Back injuries and spinal injuries are some of the worst pain you could ever experience. So I feel really bad for Adriana and everyone else. It's really not fair that this happened to them. They definitely do deserve to sue them for millions. They definitely deserve it as well. And also, I have been injured due to incompetence of companies as well myself, and I think this will be justified. But I was going to say a lot more, but I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm thinking I'm going to make a second video explain that you should not be supporting me on Twitch, at least not financially anymore, because of the horrors that Twitch are doing financially to the streamers. But I'll wrap it up there, guys. I don't think I've got anything else to add on to it, really, apart from just throwing my opinion and my experience with back injuries. But thank you very much to everyone that tuned in. It's greatly appreciated. I'm live streaming daily over on Twitch at TV High Roller. My Twitch, my Twitter, and my TikTok are also called TV High Roller. I'm uploading there daily and talking on there daily. Also, I'm uploading daily onto my second YouTube channel, High Roller Shorts. All links are in the description. If you could like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to support me, it would be greatly appreciated. Help small content creators in the algorithm. And again, let's try and get to 800 before Christmas time or New Year's. Thank you very much for the support, it's greatly appreciated. I love yous all, and as always, keep on rolling. See yous.